Universal gun barrel data. Here we go. The Hexen Pepper box handgun, aka under, where was it? The reprringer project for making plastic guns. That's literally just making plastic guns. The Pepper box handgun is based on copying, quote unquote, a French pinfire, one notch short of a cap and ball or flintlock pistol that had a bunch of rotating barrels. Someone even improved it to the point that they could just pull the trigger and it automatically rotates the cylinders. Therefore, assault pepper box. And it worked reliably enough that it didn't fail. It had steel barrel liners. Now, why am I bringing this up? Rifled barrel liners can cost anywhere from $20 for 3 feet to $1 a foot, depending on what it is. 4 to 26 inches long. They're sold that way. The 4-inch ones are used for high accuracy chamber and barrel for pistols. 26-inch longs are done as reliners for long barrels, so you can make 2 13-inch barrels or whatever for a pistol or whatever, or you can make it for an 18-inch barrel and then the next one is an 8-inch barrel for a pistol or whatever. And they come in various diameters on the outside because of pressure, and various diameters internally to match exactly what you would probably find. This is how you find out how to do this, by the way, for certain bullets. Now I'm going to bring up inner diameter bore versus groove diameter. There are two variations on this, but here are the different outside diameters as they're quoted. 5/16, 3/8, or 0.305, 0.315, or 0.370 to 375 to 384, aka 30.5 caliber, 31 1/3 caliber, 37 caliber, 37.5 caliber, and 38.4 caliber, if you were going to call them calibers, external diameter. A 3/8 and 1/2 inch outer diameter is the most common, so I'm going to cover those really quick. The 1/2 inch one is for centerfire 22 caliber. No, we're not talking Velodog or really cool, cartridges that are really just a shotgun primer and a pellet in front of it. We're talking about the 223, 5.56, and wild cartridges that are used in AR-15s and every other gun none of you actually look up. Look up all the guns that works with. Anyway, it's a 1/2 inch outer diameter piece of tubing, and the inside of it is 21.9 or 22 caliber almost for the bore. Now they can be 21.9 or 21.8 inner diameter. The smaller diameters are used for a different type of bullet. But the groove depth is specific to cartridges. AR-15s, 223, 5.56, you can put a different barrel on an AR-15, you know that, right? It doesn't have to be a 22. The groove diameter on it is 224. And the inner bore, meaning the rest of the metal that it's bored into, that this is ground into, is 21.9 caliber. That's same as a 22 Magnum for the bore. Hint, hint, you can put a chamber on the end of it for a 22 caliber and flip the barrel around. Oh my god. But the groove on that is 226. It's 22.6 caliber for the groove. That's deeper for a 22 Magnum than it is for an 18, 223, 5.56 and wild. Next, the long and short of it all for 22s is a 21.8 caliber or 0.218 inch bore, and the grooving on it is 222 for these barrels. That's much shallower than all of them, but the one with the deepest grooving, the most groove to it, is 22 Magnums, because they're usually fired from a pistol or a rifle, and they are firing a fairly powerful charge behind them and pushing a bullet through that's the same diameter as you would have for an AR-15, but it's much smaller. It's much more aggressive in grabbing the bullet, and then it spins it at whatever rate it needs to. All of them have different twist rates, but there's some standard ones like 1 in 16 or 1 in whatever. Now, that information being said, the long rifle and Magnum 22 caliber rimfire, which are the little bullets everybody thinks of when they think zip gun and stuff, are 3/8 inch outer diameter, almost all of them. Not all of them, but I'm quoting back the ones that you find most often. 1/2 inch outer diameter is used for the center fire aka rifle bullet with a big ass on it, and next down to 22, because that gives you enough room to drill in a chamber that can take the cartridge. It's mostly for the cartridge diameter. It doesn't have to be that thick. And you can buy those in short sections and turn them into a chamber at one end, and the other one can have the smaller chambers. Now, if you want to try to come up with a magic number between these, you'd need to have it pretty close to 21.8.5 caliber. So that's going to be something right between all of them. That would be for the bore. For the groove depth, there is no happy medium here anywhere except for the one that's for a 223 5.56 wild rifle. So I'm just bringing that up if any of you were thinking of making a universal barrel. I was looking this up because I was looking at, is there a barrel that's used for all of them just enough to work? The thing is, the fitment has to be tight enough to work. The only thing they all have in common is mostly the bore diameter, which is the reason a lot of people make smoothbore 22 caliber shotguns, because that'll also hold it and they don't have to deal with the grooving. So below on the list, you'll find all of the information on 5.56, 223, which are actually different characteristics, and long rifle and magnum bullets. And I'm not including the 209 primer, which almost exactly matches, not really, the base diameter and rim diameter for a 22 Magnum, aka the shotgun primer in all of those shotgun shells. Yes, if you buy a 209 primer based blank firing gun, it's pretty much waiting to be turned into one of these things, but you could just drill it out to be bigger preferably and have it fire, let's say, a 25 ACP bullet and call it a muzzle loader by just making it cap and ball and be done with it. Or even better, don't do any of that, just buy a real gun. But anyway, the Hexen Pepper box handgun, a plastic gun, using some of these same things. They don't specify which one. Obviously, it's going to be the one that's appropriate for it, and you just drill away the rifling so you can stick the cartridge in and use a cartridge ring. So why am I bringing it up? Well, I came up with 0.2185 for the bore diameter, and the one I came up with as a happy or unhappy medium is 0.224 for the actual groove diameter. Why? Because it's right at being as big as possible for the most common thing you're going to look for. This is the reason there's no universal diameter. This is also the reason you can't take a bunch of reloads for the 223 5.56 long rifle bullets, the real rifle bullets, and stick them into the grooves and fire them. It's the same thing that the other ones can do. Also not a good idea. But you can get nail gun blanks that don't fit any of these standards, put it in as a sealed base to it, and jam fit an AR-15's bullet and fire it out of a very similar barrel. Just saying. Anyway, that's the information for today about that. There is no universal barrel for this, emphasis added. However, between the 22 Magnum and using it out of an AR, a lot of them could have flipped barrels, so you could just drill a chamber into the muzzle of it and have the barrel flipped around. Oh, and then I forgot, you guys use gas impingement, so you can't take advantage of just making a bolt action rifle, and or even better, using something that uses double action. It's just a really big pistol. Could save you time on the plinking charges, and you wouldn't have to change out so many parts to be able to go plink quietly. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.